Let me get a sip of water before we get it started. Signing in the 2 of 4. Peace and love, IG. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you at. Ooh, I might even be able to pull y'all a little bit closer because I got this thing. Let me do a little bit of reconnaissance right quick. We want it about right there. Yeah. All right. Now we're signed into all three, giving it a moment to load up for people to come in the room, me to get set up, get this water. I had a pen somewhere. I may not need it. However, you never know with how these things go. Double check the audio, because this tried to play games with me last time. Yes, we are good. And IG, there we go. Whoo, all right. Peace and love, kings, queens, and gods. My name is Jarek. I'm the Floating Yogi, and this broadcast is brought to you by Yogi, Urban Yogic Wellness and Education, restructuring how we see health and wellness in the community, bringing the power of growth and evolution back to the individual's hands. It's also one of our partners on this fitness journey is Born to Fly, where fitness is fashion. Do all this working out? What? I don't even need to spend money on clothes. Looking so good. I digress. The next one is Thrill Audio Solutions, DJ Thrill, No Commercials International. If you want to get part of the meditation club, if you want to be able to stay in touch and stay up to date and stay consistent, then you can check in the Daily Meditation Accountability Crew. Check out my stories on Instagram. That's where I'm most active with posting. And there's a question I ask. Boom, I got the product right here. Hoodies are available on the website. Do you care enough about your mental space to meditate today, or are you bullshitting on your greatness? Question I ask myself. So, and I like to ask that. I ask myself daily: am I going to sit here and complain, or am I going to take some action towards the goals that I'm trying to manifest? Especially with this new year, we got the new year, new moon, seed sowing meditation coming. January 2nd, tickets are on the website. We're gonna recap last year, this 2021, this current year, and then we're gonna see our strengths, our weaknesses, and then forgive ourselves for it. We have some releasing, letting go things we're gonna do. I'm not gonna give too much stuff away because you gotta come there, you gotta be a part of it for it. Who knows, it might even be recorded in part of the album that we're releasing later with Ahmed, the Greg's Golden Voice. It's a whole situation. Anyway, that through No Commercials International, the sound, the setup, how I'm producing this. Boom, no commercials. Also, I'd like to thank Buddha Blessing, where the bowls that you hear that are on all the soundtracks and that you hear on the midday meditations. Those are also purchasable and on the website, so check it out. Now that all the bills are paid, we can get into where we were. Last week we talked about Shakti, we talked about Shiva, we talked about Shiva and Devi, and before she was reincarnated to Shakti. And then we mentioned how the Tantra scripts are just conversations between the two. So this week we're going to get into what some of the conversations are, and it gives a good explanation of how these different energies intertwine and commingle. So, yes, I'm taking out the Bible. All right, where we at? Ooh, ooh, boo. So, we also mentioned that Shiva lives on Mount Kailash, which is like the highest peak. And that high up peak is this going to be correlated to love. Like when you're in that state of love, when you're on that Mount Kailash, then you don't stay up there. You don't live up there. Shiva lives up there. You will fall from that state of love, and that's an idea of how we make the pilgrimage to and from love. We fall in and out of love, and it's the consistency, it's the mindset behind it. We're not there yet, but we're gonna get there. These conversations between Shiva and Devi articulate how the two masculine and feminine energies actually commingle with each other. So, Shiva, let us first understand the question that Devi is asking. Oh Shiva, what is your reality? Why this question? You can also ask this question, but it will not carry the same meaning. So try understanding why Devi is asking. What is your reality? Devi is deep in love. When you're deep in love, for the first time you encounter your inner reality. When Shiva is not the form, then Shiva is not the body. When you are in love, the body of the beloved falls away, it disappears. The form is no more, it's formless, it's revealed. You are facing an abyss. That is why you are so afraid of love. We can face a body, we can face a face, we can face a form, but we are afraid of facing an abyss. And it's like when you fall in love, you're just like, oh my gosh, all these thoughts come. Let me stop jumping ahead of myself. Damn it. Okay. If you love someone, if you really love, his body is bound to disappear. In some moment of climax, a peak, the form will dissolve, and through the beloved you will enter the formlessness. That is why we are so afraid. It is falling into the boundless abyss. So this question is not just a simple curiosity. Oh Shiva, what is your reality? Devi must have fallen in love with the form. Things start that way. She must have loved this man as a man. And now, when the love has come of age, when the love is flowered, when this man has disappeared, he has become formless. Now, the form is... Now he is to be found nowhere. And that's like the different phases we go through. I see it's like in relationships, like when you actually start to see the person, when the shit starts to stink, and you're like, okay, all right, now I'm falling in there, now I'm here to face, this is like the boundlessness, because let me stop getting ahead of myself, damn. He might drop something in there, I don't know. Okay, oh Shiva, what is your reality? It is a question asked by a very intense love moment. And when questions are raised, they become different according to the mind that they are asked. So create the situation, the milieu of the question in your mind. Devi must be at a loss. Shiva has disappeared. When she reaches the peak, the lover disappears. That's why this happens. This happens because in reality, everyone is formless. You are not a body. You move as a body. You live as a body, but you are not a body. When we see someone from outside, he is a body. Love penetrates within. Then we are not seeing the person for the outside. Love can see the person as the person can see himself from within. Then form disappears. We're going to go a little bit deeper. It's like when you see people's mannerisms as opposed to seeing their bodies, like, or someone else talks a certain way and it reminds you of someone else. Dang, I was supposed to be recording this. Anyway, we good. It's going to happen if it do. Okay. A Zen monk, Razani, attained his enlightenment, and the first thing he asked was, where is my body? Where is my body gone? And he began to search. He calls all his disciples and says, go out and find where my body is. I have lost my body. He has entered the formless. You are also a formless existence, but you know yourself not directly, but from others' eyes. So I'm going to say that again because I fucked it up. You are also a formless existence, but you know yourself not directly, but from others' eyes. Third time. You are a formless existence, but you know yourself not directly. So it's a different perspective that we're seeing through. Like one of those broken mirrors that we have to turn back around to shift our perspective to see clearly. Yeah, I forgot I lost where it was on the jump. I was about to go in. I was like, nah, don't go that deep, Jarek. Don't go that deep. I still got to say it one more time. All right. You are formless in existence, but you know yourself not directly, but through others' eyes. You know through the mirror. Sometimes, while we're looking in the mirror, close your eyes and then think, meditate. If there was no mirror, how could you have known your face? If there was no mirror, there would have been no face. You do not have a face. Mirrors give you a face. And think of the world there are no mirrors. So this would be like him going into like a meditation or a concept, something to focus on to imagine a formless existence if you weren't able to like readily picture it, because that could be challenging. Picture infinity. Exactly. I rest my case. Um, meditate. If there was no mirror, how could you have known your face? You do not have a face. Mirrors give you faces. Think of a world there are no mirrors. You are alone. No mirrors at all, not even the eyes working as mirrors. You are alone alone in a lonely land. Nothing can mirror you. Will you have any face, or will you have any body? You cannot have one. You don't have one at all. We know ourselves only through others, and others can only know the outer form. That is why we become identified with it. We know ourselves only through others, and the others can only know the outer form. That is why we become identified with it, because that's how we relate to other people, and that's another part of the mirror that we switch around. Another Zen mystic, Hu Hai, used to say to his disciples, when you have lost your head meditating, come to me immediately. When you lose your head, come to me. When you begin to feel that there is no head, don't be afraid. Come immediately to me. This is the right moment. Now something can be taught to you. With no head, no teaching. With a head, no teaching is possible. The head always comes between. Devi asked Shiva, "O Shiva, what is your reality? Who are you? The form has disappeared, hence the question. In love, you enter the other as himself. It is not you entering. You become one, and for the first time, you know an abyss, a formless presence. That is why for centuries together, centuries and centuries, they were not making any sculptures or pictures of Shiva. They were only making the Shiva Linga symbol. It was Shiva Linga, that's a formless symbol of Shiva, so you don't see him in form. You know, pretty simple, right? And Shiva being like the god of the balanced masculine, feminine, love, living in Mount Kailash, the abode of love. Where he lives, we can only visit. We're not able to reside there. All right. So this is what Devi asks. What is your reality? What is this wonder-filled universe? We know the universe, but we never know it as wonder-filled. Children know. Lovers know. Sometimes poets and madmen know. We do not know that the world is wonder-filled. Everything is just repetitive. No wonder, no poetry. It's just flat pose. It doesn't create a song in you. It doesn't create a dance in you. It doesn't give birth to poetry inside. The whole universe looks mechanical. Children look at it with wonder-filled eyes. When the eyes are filled with wonder, the universe is wonder-filled. When you are in love, you are again become like children. Jesus says, only those who are like children will enter my kingdom of God. God, that being like the Christ conscious, or however you choose to see it. Why? Because if the universe is not a wonder, you cannot be religious. The universe can be explained. Then your approach is scientific. The universe is either known or unknown, but that which is unknown can only be known the universe is either known or unknown, but that which is unknown can be known any day. It is not unknowable. The universe becomes unknowable, a mystery only when your eyes are filled with wonder. Devi asks, what is this wonder-filled world? Kind of like indicating that she's in love, right? Suddenly, there is a jump from a personal question to a very impersonal one. She was asking, what is your reality? And then suddenly, what is this wonder-filled universe? When form disappears, your beloved becomes the universe, the formlessness, the formless, the infinite. Suddenly, Devi becomes aware that she is not asking a question about Shiva. She is asking a question about the whole universe. Now, Shiva has become the whole universe. now all the stars are moving in him, and the whole firmament, in the whole space surrounding him. Now he is the great engulfing factor, the great encompassing. Carl Jaspers has defined God as the great encompassing. And when you enter into love, into the deep, intimate world of love, the person disappears, the form disappears, and the lover becomes just the door to the universe. The curiosity can become a scientific one. Then you have to approach it through logic. Then you must not think of the formless, then become aware of the formless and remain content with the form. Science is always concerned with the form. Yeah, it really is. If you think about it, it's always trying to measure something, have an exact of something, and then from there it can say, this is that because this. We measure it by this, so it's that. Maybe the measuring stick needs to be calibrated. I'm just saying, who knows? Science is always concerned, and maybe it's just a point of perspective. Science is always concerned with the form. If anything formless is proposed to a scientific mind, it'll be cut into form. Unless it takes a form, it is meaningless. Because they can't measure it if it don't have a form. First, give it form, a definite form. Only then does inquiry start. In love, if there is form, there is no end to it. Dissolve the form. When things become formless, dizzy, without boundaries, everything entering another, the whole universe becomes a oneness. Then it is a wonder-filled universe. So it's going to sound like it's going to go all over the place, because this is kind of how he talks. He like drops little seeds, little gems to come back to. Hey, what up, though, Tony? That's what's up. I can see you in the chat. You with the shits. Yeah, if you got any questions, you want to ask something, you can join the YouTube or the link on my website. Okay, the next question she asked. It's all going to come together. Trust me, it's going to come together like butt cheeks. All right. Then Devi goes, what constitutes seed? Then Devi goes on. From the universe, she goes on to ask, what constitutes seed? This formless, wonder-filled universe, from where does it come from? From where does it originate? Or does it not originate? What is the seed? Who centers the universal wheel? Asked Devi. This wheel goes on moving and moving, this great change, this constant flux. But who centers the wheel? Where is the axis? Where is the center, the unmoving center? She doesn't stop for any answer. She goes on asking as if, not asking anyone, as if talking to herself. Am I the only one who knows or has been in this type of situation when it's like, are you talking to me or are you talking to yourself through me? Okay, I'm gonna let it happen. Let's roll. However, this is again talking about the dynamics of the different energies. Okay. The next question she asked on Machine Gun Round: what is this life beyond form, pervading forms? How may we enter it fully above space and time, names and descriptions? Let my doubts be cleared. The emphasis is not on the questions, but on doubts. Let my doubts be cleared. This is very significant. If you're asking an intellectual question, you are asking for a definite answer so that your problems are solved. I'm gonna say that one again. I don't feel like I fucked it up, but I feel like it's just impactful. I'm gonna say it again. All right. This is very significant. If you are asking an intellectual question, you are asking for a definite answer so that your problem can be solved. But Devi says, let my doubts be cleared. She is not really asking about answers. She is asking for a transformation of her mind, because a doubting mind will remain a doubting mind, whatsoever answers are given. Note it, a doubting mind will remain will remain doubting because answers are irrelevant. If you give one answer and you have a doubting mind, you will doubt it. If you give another answer, you will doubt that also. If you have a doubt, you have a doubting mind. The doubting mind means you put a question mark to anything. So answers are useless. Okay, pause. So this is where it comes in. This is where meditation is important, because if you can catch yourself in these states when you're in conversation or in different interactions, you can in meditation, before you get to those states, create different patterns, so you're not blurting out questions, you're not continually talking, or you're at least aware of it, and then you can convey to the person, I know that I'm doing this. It can just help communication, interactions with people in general. But again, just talking about how the energies interact. And the stiff meditation helps you to piece together those things that are swirling around, those sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. Go and send this to somebody. If you're here, drop some likes. Send it to a few people. Censorship is real. They already kicked me off on a couple platforms. Hey, but I got back on them. While reading. Yes, I'm skilled. That's the yoga class tomorrow. So answers are useless. You ask me, who created the world? And I tell you, A created the world. Then you are bound to ask, who created A? So the real question is not how to answer questions. The real question is, the real problem is how to change the doubting mind. How to create a mind which is not doubting or which is trustful. So Devi says, let my doubts be cleared. This also gives the distinction of, don't sit there and piece together or pick apart each thought or each thing that she says, each sift that she brings to you. She's just trying to let it be cleared. Give her some space. It could be a venting time, reading the words, all right, two more things. These two are fire. These are fire. Two or three more things. When you ask questions, you may be asking for many reasons. One may be just this, that you want confirmation. You already know your answer. You already have your answers. You just want it to be confirmed that your answer is right. And then your question is false, pseudo. It is not a question. You may be asking a question not because you are ready to change yourself, but just as curiosity. The distinction in words. Words create the reality in which we perceive. Boom. That's all I got for that. And when he said, this is some Matrix shit. Hold up, what was it? Boom, 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 boom. This was some Matrix shit right here. He was saying, you already know the answer. You already have your answers. You just want it to be confirmed that your answer is right. And so that's like the red pill, blue pill thing. The whole concept of red pill, blue pill is fake, because it's like you already know what you want. You already know if you want to wake up, you're already here. But what are you going to do? It's like action. It's like the embodiment of the philosophy that you believe, the Tantra. Boom, class tomorrow. Let's get started. The mind goes on questioning, and the mind questions come as leaves on a tree. That is the very nature of the mind, to question. So it goes on questioning. It matters not what you are questioning. With anything given to the mind, it will create questions. It is a machine to grind out, to create questions. So give it anything, and it'll cut it into pieces to create more questions. More questions and more answers, and the mind will create many more questions from those answers. This has been the whole history of philosophy. Bertrand Russell remembers that when he was a child, he thought that one day he is mature enough to understand all philosophy. All questions will be answered. Then later, when he was 8, he said, now I can say that my own questions are there, still standing, as they were standing when I was a child. No other questions have come because of these theories of philosophy. So he said, when I was young, I used to say philosophy is an inquiry for the ultimate answer. Now, I cannot say it. It is an inquiry for endless questions. And this goes back to like the type of mind, how and the whole embodiment of the philosophy. He got bored with life. Everything became like that dull plane that we were speaking about earlier. You're on that dull plane. You're like, all right, I don't really care about anything. You're in like that Shiva world. I'm in the meditation. I know these philosophies. And then Devi come out and just smack. All right, reality, embody it now. I'm gonna give you the chance to show you are who you are. So one question creates one answer, and many questions. The doubting mind is the problem. Devi says, "Do not be concerned with my questions. I have asked so many things. What is your reality? What is this wonderful universe? What constitutes seed? Who centers the universal wheel? What is life beyond form? How can we enter it fully above time and space? But do not be concerned with my questions. Let my doubts be cleared. I ask these questions because these are in my mind. I'd ask them just to show you my mind, but do not pay attention to them. Really, an answer will not fulfill my need. My need is to let my doubts be cleared. But how can my doubts be cleared? Will any answer do? Is there any answer which will clear your doubts? Mind is the doubt. It is not that the mind doubts, the mind is the doubt. Unless the mind dissolves, doubts cannot be cleared. And that would be like through meditation. Through meditation, you can sit and understand how the mind jumps from one of those sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts to the next and just like ping pongs around. And then you'll start to get like a little bit of a separation between it. Again, it's not something that you can speak on because it is an embodiment thing. You just understand, oh wow, there is a little bit of space. I don't have to just snap and respond. Or it's not even that you don't have to, it can build up to that point. So it'll create that space, and then you do it in your own practice, in your house, by yourself, whatever it is, with a group, blah blah blah. The meditation accountability squad every morning, just go in there and check, boop, and going about the day. When things hit you, you come back to that moment, that seated place, that center, that zen, whatever they want to call it. Boom. Agua time. What up, IG? Y'all rocking with me. They kicked me off 2 more and then they put me back on. Oh, hey, who in the chat on IG? Karen, Tarika, Leo, Kimberly. Hey, I'm with the shits. Peace and love. So spiritual guidance leads the mind without wonder. I like that. Phrasing. Yeah, I could see it that way. Or it leads a mind that has wonder to a little bit more direct space. It's the embodiment. It's the balance going beyond the dualities. There's not just one specific duality. There's so many different dualities we went through in the last book, The Only Way Out Is In. That is still up on YouTube and on Instagram. You can check it out. I encourage questions. I love them. Thank you. Interactions. Whoa. All right. So, unless the mind dissolves, doubts cannot be cleared. You get an idea going through those meditations of the monkey mind, and then you could detach from the monkey mind and just like with your eyes closed, your other senses are heightened. When you detach from that, you're no longer sending information into that space, that mind space. That's why I gave it the mind space as opposed to calling it the mind, because we look at it as an individual object and we give it form when it's not when it's formless. So, just a little shift. What do you say? That's the balance of light. Yeah. Light, dark, what's it? It's rough, smooth, hot, cold, high, low, sweet, tangy, sweet and sour. That was the other one. There's like 6 of them. Ooh, you getting me excited about the Ayurveda book. Damn it. Hey, good to see you on YouTube though. All right, we'll get back to it. Shiva will answer. His answers are techniques, the oldest, the most ancient techniques, but you can call them the latest, as though nothing can be added to them. So he goes on for a minute talking about how old these techniques are, but how like complete they are by themselves. And he also talks about the Vegan Bharava Tantra book. and 5,000 years old. There's no possibility that anything can be added. It's exhaustive. It's complete. It's the most ancient, yet the latest, yet the newest. Like the old hills, the method seems eternal. Mm-hmm. And they are like new dewdrops from the sun. He goes on and on. I do like this part. These 112 methods of meditation constitute the whole science of transforming mind. We will enter them one by one. We will try to comprehend them first intellectually, but use your intellect only as an instrument, not as a master. Use it as an instrument to understand something, but do not go on creating barriers with it. When we will be talking about these techniques, just put aside your past knowledge, your knowing, whatsoever information you have collected. Put them aside. They are just dust gathered on the road. Encounter these methods with a fresh mind, with alert, of course, but not with argumentation. And do not create the fallacy of argumentative mind is an alert mind. It is not, because the moment you move into arguments, you have lost awareness. You have lost the alertness, and then you are not here. Yeah, because you're already in the argument. These methods do not belong to any religion. Words create the reality in which we perceive. FYI. Just throwing that out there. What up? What's up, Taylor Made? What's good with you? Hey, y'all funny. Okay. All right. These methods do not belong to any religion. It is not because you. And do not create any falsity with that argumentative mind as an alert mind. It is not. Because the moment you move into arguments, you have lost the awareness, you have lost the alertness, then you are not here. These methods do not belong to any religion, blah, 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 blah. Science does not belong to races or religions, and Tantra is a science. So remember, this is not Hindu at all. These techniques were conceived by Hindus, but these techniques are not Hindu. That is why these techniques will not mention any religious ritual. No temple is needed. You are not. You are quite enough a temple yourself. You are the lab. You are the whole experiment, and it's all within you. No belief is needed. Yep, you will gain the belief the more you practice, the more you see, the more you experience, and you can come from your own perspective as opposed to, oh, I read this in a book. That's that false knowledge. You don't feel it. You want to feel it. All right. This is not religion. This is science. Da 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 da. He's, he do a little roundabout thing. He be going. So remember, this Tantra is pure science. Okay, here we go. I think I like this part. You are ignorant. You are a conflict. You are in conflict. You are asleep. This is the disease, a spiritual disease. This disease has to be treated by the Tantra. You are the irrelevant. Your beliefs are irrelevant. It is just coincidence that you are born somewhere and someone else is born somewhere else. This is the coincidence. Your religion is a coincidence. So do not cling to it. Use some scientific methods to transform yourself. I agree. I do feel as though your religion can be helpful. If you have a belief and you're already like steadfast in it, no, don't shift it. That's whole world altering. Like, you don't necessarily have to do that. Like, you can use these techniques, but replace some of the things. If they say like, this God, name your God, insert God here, boop, because that's why they have like 10,000 different gods, because they want to embody different things. They want to embody the love, so they think of Shiva, they speak of Shiva. They want to destroy barriers and obstacles in their way, so they think of Ganesh. So it's like that type of embodiment. Crystal. Hey, what's up, Crystal? Welcome, cuz. No belief is needed. See, I ain't the only one saying it. Okay. Tantra is not very well known. And even if it is known, it is very much understood. There are reasons for it. The higher and purer a science, the less it's possibility that the masses will know of it. We have only heard of the name of the theory of relativity. Oh, we have only heard of the name of theory of relativity. It used to be said that only 12 persons understood when Einstein was alive. Yeah, okay, that was a mistype in the book. I'm awesome. Ha ha. Love yourself, Jerick. Okay. So it says, we have all heard of the theory of relativity, and when Einstein was around, only 12 persons knew about it, or heard about it, understood it. All over the world, only 1 dozen minds could understand it. It was difficult even for Albert Einstein to make it understood to someone, to make someone understandable. Because it moves so high, it goes above your head, but it can be understood. A technical mathematical term is needed, a training is needed, and then it can be understood. But Tantra is more difficult because no training will help you. Only transformation can help you. So going through these processes, having the experiences, is the only thing that can help, because how are you going to explain? Ooh, perfect example. Explain light to a blind person. I'll wait. I'm gonna let some comments come in on that one. All right, Anthony. I see what you're saying. Brittany, what up with you? Oh, Facebook is finally rocking. Okay. Spirit controls light in the way you can see. I support those thoughts. It's the energy. It's the energy behind the conscious awareness of whatever that massive body that we have is. All right, so we read down there. That is why Tantra could only become understood by why Tantra could never be understood by the masses. And it always happens that when you cannot understand a thing, at least you won't be misunderstood. Because then you can it always happens that when you cannot understand a thing, at least you will misunderstand. At least you will misunderstand, yeah. Because then you can feel it. Because, oh, okay, I understand. You cannot simply remain in the vacuum. My brain's not comprehending this at the moment. I'm gonna move forward. Moving forward. Secondly, when you cannot understand a thing, you begin to abuse it and use it. Secondly, when you cannot understand a thing, you begin to abuse it because it insults you. You cannot understand it. You cannot understand it. That's impossible. Something must be wrong with the thing itself. One begins to abuse. One begins to talk nonsense, and then he feels now it is okay. I.e., what I just said on that last paragraph. Example, Exhibit A, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so Tantra was not understood. Tantra was misunderstood. It was so deep and so high that it was natural. Secondly, because Tantra moves beyond duality, its very standpoint is amoral. Because understanding this word, moral, immoral, amoral, we understand morality. We understand immortality, because it becomes difficult if something is amoral beyond both. What was it? Well, that was actually where I was about to stop, but I mean, y'all seem like y'all was fucking with it. We're gonna give a little 45 minutes. You know, we gonna add some more. Y'all rocking with me. We gonna go live. All y'all. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get it. Let's keep going. All right. Tantra is amoral. Tantra says no morality is needed. No particular morality is needed. On the contrary, you are amoral because you have a very disturbed mind. So Tantra cannot take precondition. That first you must become moral, and then you can practice Tantra. Tantra says this is absurd. Someone is ill, feverish, and doctor comes and says, first bring down your fever, first become quite healthy, and then I can give you medicine. This is what's happening. This is why they be kicking me off the other platforms. I'm gonna continue. One thief comes to a saint and says, "I'm a thief. Tell me how to meditate." The saint says, "First, leave your profession. How can you meditate if you remain a thief?" One alcoholic comes to him and says, "I am an alcoholic. How can I meditate?" The saint says, "The first condition is you leave alcohol. Only then can you meditate." The condition becomes suicidal. The man is an alcoholic or a thief or immoral because he has a disturbed mind, an ill mind. These are the effects of and consequences of the diseased mind. He is told, first be well and then you can meditate. But then who needs meditation? Meditation is medicinal. It is the medicine. Tantra is amoral. It doesn't ask you who you are. Your being a man is enough. Whether you are or whatsoever you are accepted. Choose a technique that fits you. Put your total energy into it and you will not be the same again. Real authentic techniques always will be like that. If you make preconditions, it shows. You have pseudo techniques, I say. First, do this, and first, don't do that. And then all of these things are impossible conditions of a thief that can change his objects. But he cannot become a non-thief. A greedy man can change the objects of his greed, but he cannot become non-greedy. You can force him or he can force upon himself non-greed, but it is also because of the certain greed. If heaven is promised, that's facts as hell. Like, you're gonna do it one way or the other. Like, hey, I messed that up. No, do. Light is we got a response for light. Light is the dancing vibration of the rays of the sun. All the things seen, like the warmth you feel from the sun's rays. Yeah, sunbathing. Now, how do you explain the visual aspect of it to a person who is not able to see, who does not have that sensory function? Ooh, it gets deeper and the plot thickens. Yeah, the whole greedy thing. Yeah, if you're greedy, if you like this, I know I'm like OCD about certain things, and I'll change what I'm OCD about, but I'm still gonna be OCD. I'm still gonna turn it the way I want it. Wing. This is irritating. Oh my gosh, it's on two different. Oh, it's on two different angles. Ooh, this is the OCD right there. Let it go. It's gone. It's gone. Back to the facts. Okay. If heaven is promised, he may try to be non-greedy, but this is greedy par excellence. Heaven, moksha, liberation, and Satchitananda, existence, consciousness, and bliss, they will be the objects of his greed. So if you tell someone to be like spiritual, then them becoming the most spiritual is what they become greedy about. You tell them through frequencies. Yes, they can hear it through frequencies, but with words, how do you describe sight to someone who has never seen? I don't think it's possible. Y'all speak different languages. Very different languages. Now, a blind person could almost perfectly explain what light is to us that have seen our entire lives. I strongly feel that. A blind person, they'll tell us if they could start to see, they could tell us so many little intricacies about how light works and how it refracts in the brain, what it feels like, what the vibration that you're talking about is, what those vibrational rays are doing. Yo. And the nature of emotion. Ooh. Emotion, yeah. So that'd be sound. which theirs is heightened to a whole new level. We don't even understand theirs. Oh my goodness. All right. Let me get two. Let me see where I wanted to. Okay, we got time, space, and opportunity. We're going to get it. We're going to attempt to finish this section, and then we're going to come back next week. Then it's talking about the path of yoga and the path of tantra. So I look at Ayurveda as, that's a whole nother tangent. I ain't going to get on that today. I'm going to pin that and try to remember it for next time. All right. Tantra says you cannot change the man unless you give him authentic techniques with which to change. By preaching, nothing is changed, and you can see this all over the world. Whatsoever Tantra says is written all over the world. So much preaching and much moralizing, and many priests and preachers. The whole world is filled with them, yet everything is so ugly and immoral. Why is this happening? The same will be the case if you give your hospitals to preachers. They will go there and they will start preaching, and they will make every ill man feel, you are guilty, or you have created this disease, now you must change this disease. If preachers are given hospitals, what will the conditions of hospitals? The same as the conditions of the whole world. Now, I don't necessarily per se that this is my beliefs. He's saying some interesting things, though. It's a perspective. It could be a movie. Who knows? Preachers go on preaching. They tell people, don't be angry, blah, 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 blah. I want to skip all that. Still talking about don't be angry. But that will create more anger. Telling people not to be angry and suppressing your anger will only create more anger. That will create guilt. Because if I try to change, I cannot change myself. And cannot change myself. That creates inferiority. It gives me the feeling of guilt, that I am incapable. I cannot win over my anger. No one can win. You need certain weapons. You need certain techniques. Go and get them sun salutations and get that SIF meditation in daily. Go and check in with the daily meditation accountability. We got some giveaways happening starting on the 1st. I got some stuff starting on the 1st. Just know the giveaways is popping. That will create more. It gives me a feeling of guilt. No one can win. You need certain weapons. These techniques change the disturbed mind, and the indication will change. Anger is just showing what is within. Change the within, and the without will change. So Tantra is not concerned with your so-called morality. Really, to emphasize morality is mean and degrading. It is inhuman. If someone comes to me and I say, leave anger first, leave anger first, leave sex first, leave this and leave that, then I am inhuman. What I am saying is impossible. And that impossibility will make the man feel inwardly mean. He will begin to feel inferior. He will be degraded inside and in his own eyes. If he tries the impossible, it's going to be a failure. And when he's a failure, he will be convinced that he's a sinner. The preacher will have convinced you, the whole world, that you are sinners. And this is good for them, because unless you are convinced, their profession cannot continue. You must be sinners. Then only the churches and temples and mosques can continue to prosper. You're beginning to sin in their success. Your guilt is their base of their highest churches. The more guilty you are, the more the churches will go on rising higher and higher. Yo, is this not reality? Is this not reality? Like, is it not reality? Tantra is not concerned with your so-called morality. Your social formalities, that doesn't mean that Tantra says to be immoral. No, Tantra is much more concerned with your morality, that Tantra cannot say to be immoral. Tantra gives you scientific techniques to change the mind, and one of the mind is different from your character. You will be different. Once the basis of your structure changes, your whole edifice will be different. Because of this amoral attitude, Tantra cannot be tolerated. So your so-called saints, they all went against it because Tantra succeeds, and this is the nonsense. So this is where I talk about like the sun salutations, the Ashtanga sequence. That is like, it meets you where you're at. You meet it where you're at. and it guides you through there. It shows you like step by step how you're thinking about problems, how you're thinking about situations, how you're moving yourself through space to achieve your goal. How do you respond to those sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts that are swirling around on a daily basis? Where they correlate in your body? These are just some of the things that, help me to stay on track. Boom. Wait. All right. See this. Christianity fought very much against scientific progress. Why? Only because the scientific progress is there in the material world. Then the time is not very far off when the psychological and the spiritual world, also the science, will penetrate. So Christianity started fighting scientific progress because once you know that you can change matter through technique, the time is not very far off when you will come to know that you can change mind through techniques, because mind is nothing but subtler matter, right? It's like the ether. Get there. Excuse me. This is Tantra's proposition. That mind is nothing but subtle matter. It can be changed. And once you have a different mind, you can have a different world, because you can look through because you look through the mind. The world you are seeing because of a particular mind. Change the mind that you're looking at and change the world. A quick technique to changing your mind, changing your world, and changing your mind-ish, more so changing your world, changing your reality and how you perceive reality, is expand your vocabulary. Words create the reality in which we perceive. So if you don't have a large vocabulary, you can only see a limited amount of things. Or some things that you think you taste and you're like, oh, this is chicken. You just call it chicken, but it's frog, but it's rabbit, but it's deer, but that's all you know is chicken. So expand your vocabulary. Expand what you can see. A plumber walks into a room. This is a good example. KRS won't be dropping bombs, yo. So a plumber walks into a room, looks at the walls. He sees a whole different world than what you and I see. We walk into a room, we're like, oh, okay, there's a little four walls, there's some walls in here. You got a oven, we got a stove, we got a microwave, we got a refrigerator, a dishwasher, we got some hardwood floors. A plumber comes in here, he sees the plumbing through the walls, through the floors. Where would they run that? Oh, there's probably a joist here, so they have to go around it, or maybe they went up, or maybe they cut it off and just put it on the whole other side because we didn't know how they got there. But they see a whole different world. And then a third person, an electrician, walks in. An electrician sees the wiring. So it's different worlds that we see by the vocabulary we have. Lawyers, legalese, doublespeak, they be getting it, yo. All right. And if there is no mind, that is the ultimate tantra. To bring about a state where there is no mind, and then look at the world without a mediator. When the mediator is not, you are not encountering the real. You are encountering the real, because now no one is between you and the real. Then nothing can be distorted. So Tantra says that when there is no mind, that there is a state of Bharava, a state of no mind state. For the first time, you look at the world for what it is. If you have a mind, you go on creating a world. You go on imposing, projecting. So the first change of the mind, then change the mind to no mind. Then these 112 methods can help each and every one. So it's like we got to do some steps here. I recommend class tomorrow. Bring that ass. It's here for you. Okay, we will try to understand each method and how to choose yourself one method and change you and your mind. This understanding, this intellectual understanding, will be a basic necessity, but it is not the end whatsoever. I talk about here, try it. Do it! Really, when you try the right method and it clicks immediately. So I will go on talking about the methods here. Every blah, 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 da, 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 blah, 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 blah. He keeps talking about it. Same thing. Okay, here we go. I have found that while you are here playing, your mind is more open. While you are serious, your mind is not so open. It is closed. So just play. Do not be too serious. Just play. And these methods are simple. You can play with them. Take one method and play with it for at least 3 days. Give it. I like that concept. I ain't really have to continue reading. Yeah, actually play with it. I highly encourage you to just like give it a shot in different situations, because if you sometimes the ideal, like, let me take it to the yoga practice. I'll break it down to meditation, because I wasn't a seated meditation person, but I ended up, I fucking love it. I need it every day. It is a necessity for me to get my shit together. So when things are happening, when Jumi needs something, when G's hitting me up, when my parents calling, when I got business on the line, I got emails backed up, DMs, and I got class coming up, and then there's a technical difficulty, I need that moment to be like, where do I start? Start the gun. Boom. Knock that out. Knock that out. Move to it. I need to be able to direct myself. So the meditation was important, but I wasn't able to do seated meditation. So I needed a flow. And that's where Ashtanga came in. It was something that I know this is the sequence, I can get through it, and then it'll show me myself. It'll show me how I'm responding and reacting in certain situations. When am I too antsy? When am I like, I don't know if it shows me. And then it's like, how do I accept it? And how do I move forward? So the practice is phenomenal, life changing. That's the whole Tantra thing. If you want to do something that's going to change you, are you asking questions out of curiosity, or do you really want transformation? Do you really want change? Boom. What else is there? Oh, that's what it was. I started with the flow, and I didn't finish it. Damn. So I started doing the Ashtanga flow for a while, and then it showed me where I got tired. When I'm tired, that's the one thing that I didn't allow myself to do, to actually take rest. So the practice showed me when I was tired, and when I'm bullshitting myself and saying that I'm tired just so I don't do something that I don't want to do but I really need to do to get me to that next step. That's me putting self-imposed barriers and holding myself down. So it showed me that it showed me those situations and how I create them. So then I'm aware of it, and I know how to know, don't fall in that same trap. Go reroute, and then I realized, okay, I don't need to practice a whole 2 hour practice. I can do half of the practice and meditate longer. But and then I start realizing through the practice as I'm flowing, I got a lot of shit on my mind. And then I'm like, how else can I get it out? Doing stuff doesn't help me do it. So let me sit down. I know meditation works, so let me sit down and process it. Maybe I need to journal. Maybe it's like meditating, and whatever's left after that meditation, journal down, which is why I encourage having the journaling. What we're going to be doing on the new moon, new year, new moon seed sowing meditation, reflecting on the last year, finding our strengths, our weaknesses, ways that we can improve, and then we're going to forgive ourselves for our missteps, for where we didn't achieve what we thought we could, and then move forward with an achievable plan of action. Something that's not just like a whole bunch of fluff, like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna get this I'm gonna make $1 million, and you don't have the first idea. Well, I'm gonna get into Bitcoin and do it. Bruh, like, yes, you can. That is a possibility. I'm not trying to down that, but let's put a plan of action. Step one, do you have your Coinbase account, or are you trading on Cash App? Like, what's up? I digress. But that's how it got me from moving to now I can do a seated meditation. So Ashtanga, tomorrow, let's give it a shot. Another little bit of reassurance about Tantra. Every type of mind has been taken into account. Every possible type of mind has been given a technique in Tantra. There are many techniques which no man exists yet. They are for the future. There are many techniques for which no man exists now. They are for the past. But do not be afraid. There are many methods which are for you. So we will start this journey the next time. Boom, boom, pow. Yeah, questions, comments, anything you want to chat about, let me know. The daily meditation accountability thing is happening. It's on and rocking every day. We're at 309 days so far because I upgraded my phone and then my SIM card like messed up and I couldn't log back on Insight Timer within that day. So it doesn't matter. We're at 309, 310 days. So daily meditation accountability. Get with it. We got giveaways coming from apparel. Do you care enough about your mental space to meditate today, or are you bullshitting on your greatness? Maybe even these. Ooh, Marine. What? Is that magic? Yes, it is. We got gongs. I'd like to thank Buddha Blessing for the bowls. I'd like to thank, which are on the website as well. I'd like to thank Surreal Audio Solutions, DJ Thrill, No Commercials International, where you can find on all streaming platforms our single live from Costa Rica, The Floating Yogi, and it could be your morning meditation. Maybe it's just 5 minutes you get in, boom, boom, hit the track, and then hit the track. And then I'd like to thank Born to Fly Fitness, where fitness is fashion, and damn it, mental health is wealth. That's going to be the next one. I shouldn't have said that. I need to scrub this out before we move forward. And I'd like to thank Yogi, Urban Yogic Wellness and Education, restructuring how we see health and wellness in the community, bringing the power of growth and evolution back to the hands of the individual. Y'all didn't see it on IG. It's on. I got the logo on the screen on YouTube and other streaming platforms. Anyway, there's Monday night is the book club. We're here every Monday night. Bring that ass. Monday night. Next Monday we're still reading this one. We're gonna decide on the next book. I have a few to go through from Eastern Body, Western Mind. We just do excerpts from there, but that's breaking down the chakra system. Then there is Flow, which talks about flow state in different states, then in like different crafts and fields like basketball, sports, music, writing, dance. Then there is, what's that other one? The Divine Matrix, which breaks down like the law of attraction, the law of vibration, stuff like that. But I'll go a little bit more into that over the next month. I'll be able to talk about the things that's happening in the book club and on the meditation accountability and the giveaways that are coming with it. Hey, what up, Kaylin? Hey, I know I be seeing you. You be with the shits. We gonna have to talk because I got an idea for you. FYI. So Monday night is the book club. We're back here. Tuesday night we flow it out Ashtanga, embodying all 8 limbs of yoga. Virtual. Then there is Thursday midday mind right. We're gonna bring in some of these parts that we were talking about in the book and bring them into the meditation. We'll do some let go to get ready for this new year, so we can have those seeds sowing. That the fresh soil to sow those seeds. Damn, that's a lot of S's. It's what I need. And what's the last one? Tickets are on the website. Ooh, what else is there? Lastly, then there is Saturday, which not this Saturday because it's New Year's Day, but every other Saturday there's gonna be Floating Flow at 10:30 a.m. Virtual, and then Sunday there is Elevated Yoga. Tickets are on the website, and Elevated Yoga tickets on the website. Hey, Elevated Symptom Flow, let's get it. Any questions, comments, slide in the DMs, follow, like, share, let somebody else know what's going on. Yeah, and check out the playback if you're just getting in. Peace and love, kings, queens, and gods.